Hello all. With the new update here, bringing us 2 new research trees. Danny's greensight skin, which is easily the strongest yet. Some changes coming to Arena of Honor shop and 2 new buildings, added along with some extra additions to the arena map. We have a fair bit to cover, so let us begin. I guess we should be talking about where we can get books for these new tech trees. Funny enough, everyone got 200 as a type of compensation because of some display and purchasing issues, basically free handouts to start your tech tree off. Both Alliance Conquest and Siege of Winterfell matches give out a lot of books themselves. Both for victory and loss a great amount is obtained. The Valor shop has 100 available for purchase every month for 100 tokens per. And the VIP shop has 5 available for 1,000 diamonds each every day. Currently there is no packs for these books, but do expect them to come out soon. Firstly, let's get into the big topic of discussion, the 2 new research trees for Alliance Conquest and Siege of Winterfell. Now there are some key differences between the 2 tech trees. The common researches between the 2 are the first unlock, able to bring an additional 1 million troops brought to battle, which is especially impactful in Siege of Winterfell where more and more players are exceeding 1 million troops each, limiting their third armies or their overall 3 deployed troops. Along with this, an increase to 80% healing speed for both trees. And the more interesting research at the end of each tech tree, up to a 100 increase to players' initial points, which will add up to a total of 10,000 points in their matches. This will eventually become a requirement for top alliances, and at the very least the extra 1 million troops brought to battle. Now one issue is we are unaware if Alliance Conquest research will affect Ultimate Conquest matches. We assume it will, and hopefully it does, which means 5 million troops brought for Ultimate Conquest matches, which will help out even more for players who solo spam, and for additional rallies players can fill along with extra troops for reinforcing for defenses. Focusing on the Alliance Conquest tree, the first 3 main troop upgrades are troop-based defense, up to 10, troop-base health up to 10 and main troops counter plus 10%. This is infantry v spears counter, and for bowmen, this is directly increasing their bowman v bowmen counter. A small note about this, you can get up to base defense level 7 just from base unlocks of the previous 3 research option, and the 2 next troop boosts will likely also be able to be researched up to level 7 too before being blocked. If you care about marching and rally speeds, they're here too, which usually isn't too important with the amount of spam for these events. Only really racers will benefit from the extra marching speed. Now the 2 most impactful research, being increasing troops base attack up to 10 and increasing troops damage by 5%. If we aren't aware of how impactful these increased damage sources are, imagine it opposite to base attack. Where base attack is applied before stat bonuses, these attack increases take your total damage and increase it by your percentage you have currently. These 2 unlocks will need all of the prior troops to be unlocked and leveled to also level these research up. Basically, to unlock the rally speed, we need all 4 counter boosts at level 1, and we need the rally speed leveled before we can level our attacking boosts. This progression will be the same for the Siege of Winterfell tech tree when we get to it, which we shall cover now. The Siege of Winterfell tech tree highlights, which is fairly different to the AC tech tree. For starters, there are only basic troop stat increases, up to 120% each. And all 3 total stat increases up to 80% each, which feels a lot more underwhelming compared to the AC tech tree. But now is when it gets interesting. Each troop type has their own troop marching speed increases up to 10%, troop range increases up to 20%. Individual army energy recovery rates up to 15%. This is for your Army 1, 2, and 3, and this is for commander skill activations. And lastly, 4 unique researches, increase normal damage, skill damage, counter damage, and healing coefficient up to 20% each. For now, this is a massive boost for all players. Even if we're only to unlock the healing speed and troops brought, this is what we will say is at least essential for all players, and for fighters, a new tech tree to invest into for events. The Siege of Winterfell tree is the more unique, and we will say impactful compared to. And given that right now most will focus on Alliance Conquest and Siege of Winterfell will become second priority, meaning those who do get the range, speed, and damage increases will have advantage in the coming season, but this also assumes packs for these books will release before the season begins. Finally, we can relax and talk about an easier topic. Danny greensight skin, which is the best we have currently, giving 8 total base attack, 45% total defense, and 40% enemy defense reduction. obtained from the Arrow and Besiege events where previous Commander greensights have been obtained. She is great for any line and better for multiple lines players, whether in defense or on offense, benefiting both troop types. It will be a while before something greater is released, and only really Night King's greensight could be released in a more powerful state. And lastly, onto the Arena of Honor additions. 2 new buildings have been added, these being the Watchtower, which will replace the rebel camps, and the catapults, which are placed right near the Glory City. All of these cannot be directly attacked by players and must be hit from the house's tower to be occupied. These will give 4,000 points for first capture and 200 points per minute. Now, at least in our experience, the base power of our house armies will never be strong enough to occupy these buildings, bringing offensive camps relevance, where usually all groups do full trading posts, which is a very good strategy for the passive points. Now we have more options. Whether we wish to keep full trading, which will always be consistent, or we wish to contest the new buildings. And some small changes to the Glory Shop. Now more Dragon Essence are available for lords who are at the Glory ranks. In addition, now a cap for the amount of coin a player can hold, up to 200,000 maximum. These won't matter too much, though we will suggest investing in the Glory Dragon for the additional bonuses. The extra essence available per week for many will help accelerate this. This update, adding the new strongest greensight commander skin of one of the most popular characters in the game, continually shaping Arena of Honor into the game mode for us to enjoy, much like Alliance Conquest for seasons to come. And a direct method to power spike many types of players in both Alliance Conquest and Siege of Winterfell. What do you look forward to the most, and more importantly, are you going to focus on Siege of Winterfell or Alliance Conquest research? We wish you well, lords and ladies. Thanks for watching.